Excuse me.
Citizen Graham, you are not authorized for this area.
I was going to have to get used to being called Graham. I just wanted to ask some questions.
Oh yeah? Well, I'm a 4YR droid. And 4YR droids are programmed to ask questions, not answer them.
Have you seen a boy called Milo?
Gaplander or citizen?
Gaplander.
All Gatlanders look the same to me.
He's quite young and about this tall?
Repeat, all Gatlanders look the same to me.
2CU looks a little newer than you.
That's right. Supposed to be more socially orientated. I'd like to see her try and fix a bent shaft.
You're not like that other droid across the bridge.
You mean 2CU? That little jumped up tin pot voice box. That's all she is.
And you're a better model?
Better, older, tougher, more reliable. Underneath this steel skin lies the beating heart of a 13.7 volt power cell.
Wow.
Old tech, you see. Tested. Solid. Whereas that flying volleyball over there runs on solar. Sun goes down, she's useless. But me, I can go all night long.
You mentioned a power cell?
Correct. I run off a 13.7 volt power cell.
Really? Would it fit in a truck?
It would fit in older models.
Like that truck over there?
Might do. Looks old enough.
What's beyond that door?
A corridor.
And after that?
The city.
Okay. And how do I get in?
You don't.
Why not?
Because you are a pedestrian. And doors do not open for pedestrians.
But they open...
Yes, because it is a vehicle entrance.
Thanks.
Bye.
Warning. This entrance is strictly vehicle only. All pedestrians...
Those guns look like they meant business.
Unacceptable cargo detected. 4Y, our unit has been alerted to solve the problem.
You outdated scrap pile! I am the unacceptable cargo! Let me down! You're risking the future of all the little kids!
I had a charged power cell.
Warning. Extreme measures will be taken against non-compliant pedestrians.
Hey, Wendell.
Managed to get those doors open all right?
Just about.
Did you, do the jig?
Sure did. You said it was essential.
That's right. But it always seems... Anyway, what can I do for you?
Any ideas on how I can get into...
Aye, that...
Great! What?
A truck?
What? Like...
No. That being citizen's ID. I've got ID. Long story short, I could drive in. If I could drive in.
I'll be back.
I'll be here.
Your truck needs a new power cell.
Like a cheese sandwich needs chutney.
Here, this should do the trick.
Is that a new power cell? Juiced up? You beautiful man! How did you do it?
Well, it all started with a dead man in the desert.
I'm gonna stop you there, chum. Any story that starts with a dead man is best kept to yourself.
Hey, any chance of a lift into the city?
Typical. No one ever does anything from the goodness of their heart these days.
I just figured that...
Oh, all right. Up in the back. You earned it. Word to the wise. I'm only going as far as the delivery depot. You'll have to find your own way into the city from there.
Sure, I'll improvise. You sure it's safe back here?
100%, lad.
I'll take your word for it.
Just watch out for me neck bursts. I've lost enough business already. As far as I can take you, I'm afraid. You can catch a monopod into the city from over there.
And where are you going?
Straight to cargo. Gotta get these babies
Quarantined?
distributed.
Thanks for the ride, Wendell. Maybe see you again.
Piece of happiness, courtesy of Minos.
Welcome, Citizen Graham. Outdated U-chip firmware detected. Firmware must be updated to use Union City facilities.
I was about to return to give Ember a piece of my mind when...
Transporting you to the nearest safety services.
The Stalkers had come into the city. But looking around, that didn't make any sense. This place was a paradise compared to the Union City I'd left all those years ago. Joey had certainly turned the place around. I had to find the Stalkers. And whoever he was, Graham was my only lead. I just had to sort out my U-chip problems first. Hello?
Good morning, Graham Grundy. I trust you are well on this fine day.
Actually,
Aha! Have you tried Dijon buttercream spankles? It's new.
sounds delightful.
That's the spirit. Now, Mr. Grundy, we both know why you're here, don't we?
I guess we do.
Your firmware. It's ridiculously out of date. Let's get you sorted then, shall we? Go on, place your hand on the platform.
Okay, here goes.
Well, that's very strange.
What's very strange?
What's very strange?
You said that's very strange a moment ago. Something about my data.
I didn't. You said, what's very strange?
I only said it because you said that's very strange.
Great. What else can I do for you, Citizen Graham?
There was something strange about the ID that I had acquired. While she may have lost the plot, I definitely hadn't. So is my firmware all up to date?
It sure is, Citizen Graham. Now you can get back to being a top-notch citizen again. I see you have 2 weeks of public voting to catch up on. Better find a terminal and hop to it.
Would you mind scanning my U-chip like you did before?
But, Graham, your firmware is up to date.
Humor me.
Okay. Well, that's very strange.
There, you just did it again.
Because you asked me to humor you.
I mean, you said that's very strange again.
I assure you that I have a precise log of this entire conversation, and I said no such thing.
It appeared that every time she tried to access my data, the last few seconds of her memory was wiped.
Is there anything else I can help you with?
Listen, I don't know if you'll be able to help on this.
I'm here to help.
Okay. I'm looking for a child that went missing 2 days ago.
And from which part of the city did this...
He was from outside the city.
I can only help you locate citizens.
Thank you.
Was I helpful?
Yes.
Would you like to fill out a survey?
Yeah. Why not?
Excellent. Question 1 of 100. Are you satisfied?
Whoops. Gotta go. Now that I'd dealt with my UChip problem, I needed to find out more about my new identity. Graham Grundy.
Self-perpetuating cleaning organism. Introducing the new Wonder Mop 2.0. New Omnisoggy technology keeps the mop damp and the vinegar does the same for your pesky germs. With its
Welcome, Citizen Graham. Where would you like to go?
I knew Graham had some sort of connection to Milo's kidnapping. His home would be my best, in fact, my only lead. Take me to Graham... my home.
Lakeview Apartments. Certainly, Citizen Graham.
The city knew a lot more about Graham than I did. As I arrived, masquerading as a dead man called Graham, I was apprehensive about what I would find. But I had no choice. I had to find the stalker. And whoever he was, Graham was my only lead. The seal on the floor showed my buddy Joey just as I remembered him, when I left him in charge all those years ago.
Hey, buddy, watch where you're standing.
What's your problem?
Your face, for one.
Excuse me.
Well, if you hadn't been staring at the floor like a moron, you'd have seen me.
Do you know a guy called Graham Grundy?
Nope. Sounds like a moron.
In that case, let me introduce myself. Graham Grundy.
Doesn't surprise me.
Do you know where I can find Joey?
Oh, I don't know. Weirdo. They say he walked into the gap, or sailed across the sea. Either way, he abandoned us all in this place.
You don't like it here?
Needs more color, wouldn't you agree?
Do you live here?
Do I look like I live here?
I'm not from around here. Maybe everyone here looks like you.
Yeah, and what do I look like?
Trouble.
Keep walking.
I didn't catch your name.
I'm your mama.
What? What happened after Joey left?
Well, duh. Council runs the city now.
I'll leave you to whatever it was you were doing.
Aw, really? I'll miss you.
Yes, I'm very busy.
Hey, Dirtbag! What's your favorite color?
Huh?
You heard me. What's your favorite color?
Blue?
Lame.
But you're wearing... Never mind.
Later, man purse.
Later, backpack.
Ha! You got nothing.
Clearly not everyone in Union City was quite as courteous as they were happy. Calling the already present elevator did nothing. No surprise there.
Apologies, Citizen Graham. This is not your residence.
Wait, I know that U-chip. Oh my, is it really? Yes, it is. Master Graham, you have returned. How wonderful.
Oh, good day, huh?
I shall inform Madam and her guest that you have arrived. She will be so pleased.
No, that won't be necessary.
She will be overjoyed that you have finally returned to the bosom of the family. My apologies for the interruption, Madam Songbird. It's Master Graham.
What about him, Chipworth?
It appears he has arrived home, Madam.
He has, but that's... wonderful! Oh, thank Joey! My dear husband is back!
I was hoping to meet you, Mr. Grundy. Mentor Alonso, Ministry of Well-Being. I was just here to investigate some irregularities.
I'm sure my Graham needs a few moments to freshen up. Why don't I show you my kudos records? I don't know who you are, but right now we're both in a lot of trouble. So for both our sakes, you'd better convince the Mentor that you're Graham.
Yes, of course.
I'll stall him. Just don't come through that door until you know enough about Graham to pass yourself off as him.
Don't worry. You can count on me. I wasn't sure what I'd walked into. But if I was to convince anyone I was Graham, I needed to find out more about him. His job, his family, his state of mind. The Mentor could ask me about anything. Information about Graham was scattered all over the place. All I had to do was look around. Definitely an improvement on the food dispensers they used to have here. Rhythmic gymnastics, first place. Amethyst or purple glass? Either way, it looked expensive. That looked like Graham and his wife on their wedding day. They looked blissfully in love. A shelf full of sports gear and awards from years gone by. I was hit by the acrid smell of chemicals. It looked like one of the land trains from the city walls. It was a detailed model. Espionage during the Hobart Wars. Nice to see the propaganda was still around. I couldn't access Graham's messages. I added that to my list of things to look into. A chart showing that Graham's kudos score had recently dropped. I wondered what had caused such a sharp decline. I had made some headway, but I still needed to learn about Graham's work and his state of health.
Welcome back, Graham. Displaying your health chart now. It has been 2 weeks since your last checkup. You have lost weight. Congratulations. It has been noted that your height has increased, adjusting records accordingly. Scanning for medical implants. Error. Implant missing. Refreshing biomodification database. Please wait. Removing cardiac implant registration. Registering Schriebman port as new implant.
The scanner had detected my Schriebman port, which allowed me to interact with Link, the city's old network. Since then, I'd pretty much forgotten about it.
Adjusting your health rating from C to A+.
I was considerably fitter than Graham. That was good to know. That's all for now.
Due to the alteration of your physical parameters, a new uniform has been ordered and will arrive at your home shortly. Keep a smile on your face.
I was a lot healthier than Graham. In fact, I'd say Graham was downright unhealthy. I had gathered quite a bit of information about his health and social situation, but I still needed to know exactly what he did for a living. After 10 years in the Gap, I'd almost forgotten what a toilet looked like. There was a boot print. Curious. A box had been hidden outside the window. If I could get the window open, I'd be able to reach that box. Union City Red. I suspected it was more fruit juice than wine. Fairy tales, courtly romances, and art books. An impressive collection of medals, ranging from bravery to long service. Most of the medals dated back to before I was born. A security forces copter. I still had nightmares about those things. Twice I'd flown in them, and both times they'd crashed. I hoped I wouldn't have to risk it a third time. A uniform like the one Graham's wife wore. It was cut for someone much larger. The logo on the uniform was quite distinct. Developing fluid and trays. I hadn't seen gear like this since I was a child. Looked like these photos were taken by the city walls. The blind blocked out all the light from outside. Anti-Hobart propaganda. Some things never change. I still didn't know enough about Graham's work to answer questions about it. I needed to find out more information if I wanted to avoid getting caught out. The trees in the gap weren't as pretty, but at least they were real. Hello there. Chipworth, wasn't it?
Master Graham, may I say, sir is looking even more fabulous than usual today.
Why, thank you.
Has Master Graham lost weight?
Maybe. Does Master Graham look like he's lost weight?
Oh, yes, sir. And it would appear sir has gained some height as well. Bravo.
Tell me, Chipworth, who was that woman?
But that was sir's wife, madam.
Yes, of course.
Is sir quite feeling himself?
It's fine.
How serendipitous that the well-being mentor is here then, is it not, sir?
I need you to do something for me.
Just say the word, sir.
Never mind. Perhaps later.
Very good, sir.
This mentor, what will he ask me about?
The Ministry of Well-being is always...
Well-being?
That's right, sir. He might also inquire if sir needs any support in the workplace or similar.
Why exactly was I selected?
I believe sir's 2-week-long work, poll, and social hiatus may have... Just be yourself, sir, and you will be fine.
Of course, because I am Graham Grundy. Chipworth, tell me everything you know about me.
Request respectfully declined, sir.
But aren't you my butler droid?
Yes, sir. I have been sir's butler.
Then why can't you tell me?
Standing orders.
Whose orders?
You... nice try, sir. Almost had me.
Graham had made sure his droid wouldn't talk. I had to do my own investigating. Goodbye, Chipworth.
Have a very special day, sir.
I wondered if Graham self-medicated. Giant scorpions in the sewers. Real or fake? Unlikely. The tentacle monsters would have eaten them years ago. When I came to Union City 10 years ago, this was very much the case. These days, I wasn't so sure. You can tell a lot about a man from his shoes. In this case, that the man had no taste. The box was for a deluxe hollow plinth replacement lens. There was nothing inside. I wondered if the people knew that Hobart agents had helped me save their city.
Excuse me, please.
I still didn't know enough about Graham's work to answer questions about it. I needed to find out more information if I wanted to avoid getting caught out. Something told me the fire was not authentic. Personally, I preferred an open fire for cooking. At least one person in the city appreciated a nice cup of coffee, although I doubted Union City Blend contained even an ounce of actual coffee beans. Tempting, but I'd already had my monthly bath.
Welcome back, Graham. Displaying your health chart now. Thank you for consulting on a regular basis.
That's all for now.
Keep a smile on your face.
I was a lot healthier than Graham. The council was made up of 5 ministries. Each ministry had their own logo and distinctive color scheme. From the color of his uniform, it was clear that Graham worked for the Ministry of Comfort. I wondered what exactly Graham's role was. A chart showing that Graham's kudos score had recently dropped. A printer? It was rare to see one of those. A cavalcade of cryptids. Someone believed in monster stories.
Excuse me, please.
The image being displayed on the holoplinth had changed. The trees in the gap weren't as pretty, but at least they were real. I still didn't know enough about Graham's work to answer questions about it. I needed to find out more information if I wanted to avoid getting caught out. Definitely an improvement on the food dispensers they used to have here. Fairy tales, courtly romances, and art books. sword? The blade was cracked. Developing fluid and trays. I hadn't seen gear like this since I was a child. Looked like these photos were taken by the city walls. The blind blocked out all the light from outside. I couldn't access Graham's messages. I added that to my list of things to look into. The council was made up of 5 ministries. Each ministry had their own logo and distinctive color scheme. I wondered what exactly Graham's role was. How to survive a war. Better just to not be around to see them. Hello, Chipworth.
Good afternoon, sir.
I need you to do something for me.
Just say the word, sir.
Please, can you open the windows, Chipworth?
I am sorry, sir, but the window controls are in Madam's... Her meeting is apparently of the highest priority.
I see.
Indeed, sir. However, if the air temperature is a concern, might, sir...
It is rather warm.
And pungent, sir.
Tell me about that woman.
Woman? Can sir possibly be referring...
Humor me. For instance, her name would be...
Madam Songbird. Clearly, sir is not feeling quite himself. Sir might recall he even forgot dear old
Who?
Me, sir.
Who was that guy in here when I arrived?
Is sir referring... That would be the senior officer. I believe that...
He would?
Mentor Alonso indicated that there were 1 or 2... public voting, kudos levels, employment, whereabouts within the city...
Just some minor things.
Consumption patterns, bios...
I think I get the picture.
But I'm sure there's a simple answer, Master Graham.
I need you to do something for me.
Just say the word, sir.
Please, can you do the laundry, Chipworth?
The laundry basket is in the bedroom, sir. I wouldn't want to
Seems sensible. I need you to do something for me.
Just say the word, sir.
Please, can you tidy up the apartment, Chipworth?
Very good, sir.
I still didn't know enough about Graham's work to answer questions about it. I needed to find out more information if I wanted to avoid getting caught out. A shelf full of sports gear and awards from years gone by. Rhythmic gymnastics, first place. So Graham was a cleaning supervisor? I had learned all I was going to from Graham's apartment. I hoped it would be enough. If I was going to convince the Mentor, I had to be sure I knew enough about Graham. I couldn't keep them waiting any longer. From that point on, I had to be Graham Grundy, cleaning supervisor.
Darling, I thought you were going to freshen up.
I was, but I missed the sweet sound of your voice.
Oh, Graham, always the romantic. But please don't kiss me until you've showered.
Wouldn't dream of it. Besides, I couldn't let Alfonso here
Alonso?
monopolize my lovely wife for a moment longer.
In which case, shall we begin?
Of course. Shall we take a seat in the lounge? It was now or never.
So, Mr. Grundy.
Mentor Alonso, what would you like to know?
Ah, well, straight to the point. I like that. As I was explaining to your dear wife earlier, there have been some issues with your activity records of late.
Issues? What do you mean?
Mr. Grundy, a word to the wise. This will be much smoother if you leave the questions to me. Now, whilst your records load, remind me, in which ministry are you employed?
Comfort. I'm a cleaning supervisor.
Yes, of course. Ah, here we go. Graham Grundy, 42, cleaning supervisor with the Ministry of Comfort. Cleaning supervisors require Class C exertive activity certification. I trust that your health rating is sufficient.
I did drop down a bit, but I'm back to Class A+ now.
Excellent, excellent. Very good. So, with that in mind, I will mark you as fit for work, barring any other issues. Now, obviously, your kudos level will have fluctuated due to your absence. You're a C+ right now. I note you used to be much higher.
B.
Yes, well, you'll be back up there in no time. Well, that is all I need to check off. But I'd be remiss if I didn't offer you all the extra support and guidance that you need.
Mentor?
When someone goes off-grid, there's usually some underlying trouble. And as a mentor, I like to think of myself as a bit of a troubleshooter.
Of course. I appreciate the concern.
So, let's get to the bottom of all this confusion. Dig a bit deeper, eh?
Deeper? Yes, right. By all means, Mentor.
Tell me about your workplace. I trust there are no issues.
The land train facility. It's a fine place to work.
I'm sure it is. Department of Land Trains and Extra City Commerce. Wonderful.
Oh, yes. Couldn't be happier.
We are, of course, very grateful for your service, Mr. Grundy. But there we come to the crux of the matter. Your absence. 15 days is a long time. This is, of course, why my ministry has become involved in your case. We have been concerned for your well-being.
I'm fine. Better than ever, in fact.
Excellent. Now, speaking of your health, I note you had some surgery last year. Tell me about your implants. Are they working effectively?
You mean my heart regulators? Nothing to worry about. As you can see, the beat goes on.
Yes. Well, I must say you're in remarkable shape considering your medical history. Of course, your mental well-being is just as important to us. How are you getting on with your rather peculiar hobbies?
You mean my photography?
I do, yes.
You can't beat the feeling of an old-time film camera.
I can imagine. You have an eye for composition. Although I don't understand your interest in using such archaic technology. Choosing to fiddle with knobs rather than availing of ministry-recommended filters, stabilization, automatic archive, and data retrieval, all courtesy of Minos. If we can't see what you create, how can we share in your interests?
What can I say? I like a challenge.
I'm sure you do, Graham. Ah, well. I have a busy day of appointments, so sadly we must conclude our little chat there.
It's been a pleasure, Mentor.
Hasn't it? So with that in mind, perhaps you can tell me where you've been for the last 2 weeks.
What? Right. Yes, where have I been the last 2 weeks?
Well?
Okay, so the last 2 weeks, I was working at the land train facility, of course. Cleaning. I'm a cleaning supervisor. And while I was cleaning, I must have bumped my head. The next thing I knew, I was in the middle of nowhere, still on the train. 2 weeks later, the train returned to the city. Cleaner than it's ever been, I might add.
My poor darling! How awful! What a dreadful thing to happen!
I believe I have all the answers I need from you.
Well, that's a relief.
I'm sure it is, Mr. Grundy.
Well, thank you for stopping by.
Just a teeny tiny thing before I go. There appears to be 1 or 2 anomalous results here.
Anomalous? That doesn't sound good.
It may be nothing. But here's the thing. I get strange readings when I scan your U-chip. Any idea why?
Maybe it got damaged when I fell.
Ah, yes. Of course. That's probably it. You see, the only other time I've seen anything like this is when a U-chip has been tampered with. No one would have done that now, would they?
Tampered with? I didn't even know that you could do that.
Graham's a supervisor, not a subversive mentor.
Yes, a supervisor, not a subversive.
Damaged when he fell. Request analysis. There. Perfect. I have everything I need.
Great. Chipbot will show you out.
Chipworth, darling?
Just my little joke. Chipworth.
Good day, Mr. and Mrs. Grundy.
I don't know who you are or what you've done with Graham, but I think we got away with that.
I hope so. I don't think that we would get away with it a second time.
Nor do I. If there is anything wrong with Graham's U-chip, you would better sort it out sharpish, before Alonso's analysis comes back.
Who even are you? Where's Graham? Are you that contact he kept ranting about?
Whatever Graham had been up to, it had gotten him killed. I had to come clean with his wife. There's no easy way to say this, but I'm afraid Graham is dead.
What? How? Where?
I found him. In the Gap.
The Gap? What was the idiot doing in the Gap? Was that where he was always sneaking off to? Ugh!
A child, Milo, was abducted from a village out there and brought into Union City. And I think Graham was somehow connected.
Sure, and pigs fly. Listen, stranger. I'm sure you can understand this has been a rather harrowing day. This is all too much for me right now.
Tell me about it.
So, I'm gonna do some damage control on social media. In the meantime, I guess that officially it is your home, so you can stay, but this is my bedroom, and that one is yours. No cute ideas.
Understood. Songbird seemed rattled by the news. Not surprising. But whoever this contact of Graham's was, I suspected they were the key to finding Milo. Hello, Chipworth.
Good afternoon, sir.
I need you to do something for me.
Just say the word, sir.
Please, can you open the windows, Chipworth?
Very good, sir.